Welcome to our senior health video. This video will talk about 10 potential side effects of gabapentin that doctors rarely warn you about. Have you ever taken a medication that was meant to help your pain, but left you feeling strangely dizzy, foggy, or not quite yourself? Millions of Americans wake up every morning trusting a small white capsule called gabapentin, believing it is the answer to nerve pain, shingles, or restless nights. Yet behind that promise of relief lies a growing concern that many patients and even doctors rarely talk about. Every year, thousands quietly experience side effects they never expected. Some brush them off as signs of aging, others assume they are just tired. But what if those subtle changes are not normal at all? In homes across the United States, older adults are reporting stories that sound eerily similar. A retired teacher begins stumbling when she walks. A veteran notices his hands trembling as he writes his morning journal. A grandmother who once loved driving suddenly feels her vision blur and her confidence fade. These are not isolated incidents. They are part of a larger pattern backed by FDA data in clinical studies showing that gabapentin can do far more than ease nerve pain. It can alter balance, mood, and even breathing without warning. The truth is that gabapentin affects the entire nervous system, influencing how signals move between the brain and the body. While it may bring comfort to millions, it also carries risks that can quietly build over time. For some people, those changes are mild. For others, they become life-changing. That is why understanding what this medication can do inside your body is not just helpful, it is essential for your safety and independence. Today, we will explore 10 scientifically proven side effects of gabapentin that every patient should know. You will see what research reveals how these effects develop, and most importantly, what you can do if you recognize them in yourself or a loved one. Stay with us until the end because what you learn today could protect your balance, your clarity, and even your life. Number 1, dizziness and vertigo. It often begins so subtly that many people ignore it at first. You stand up from your chair and the room tilts for a moment. You take a step forward and suddenly feel as if your balance has vanished. For millions of Americans using gabapentin, this early sign of dizziness can become a serious warning that the body is struggling to adapt to the drug's effects. Studies from the FDA and the National Center for Biotechnology Information show that dizziness affects about 13% of patients, yet experts believe the real number may be higher because so many cases go unreported. What makes this side effect dangerous is not only the spinning feeling, but the loss of control it creates. A single moment of imbalance can cause a fall, a fracture, or a long recovery that steals independence from older adults. Gabapentin works by calming nerve activity in the brain and spinal cord, targeting pain signals that cause discomfort. However, this same action can disrupt how the brain processes balance and motion. The inner ear, the cerebellum, and the visual system communicate to keep the body steady. When those signals are slowed or confused, even a short walk across the kitchen can feel uncertain. Some people describe it as standing on a boat that will not stop moving. These sensations are most common during the first few weeks of treatment or when the dose increases too quickly. The positive news is that there are ways to manage it. Doctors often suggest taking gabapentin at bedtime, rising slowly in the morning, and avoiding alcohol or other sedatives that intensify dizziness. Staying hydrated, maintaining gentle physical activity, and asking your healthcare provider about dose adjustments can greatly reduce the symptom. Learning to recognize the early signs keeps you safe and aware before a small spin turns into something serious. But just knowing this is not enough because another side effect of gabapentin quietly drains your daily energy and sharpness in a way most people never expect. Number 2, excessive drowsiness and fatigue. After dizziness, one of the next hidden effects that often surprises people is the deep, constant tiredness that never seems to fade. You wake up expecting to feel rested, yet within hours, your body feels heavy and your thoughts start to slow. For many Americans taking gabapentin, this isn't just ordinary sleepiness. It is a powerful wave of fatigue that lingers all day and gradually steals motivation and focus. Research reviewed by the FDA shows that drowsiness ranks among the most frequently reported side effects, affecting a large percentage of users within the first few days of treatment. What makes this symptom concerning is that it can blur judgment, slow reaction time, and create dangerous situations before you even realize what's happening. Gabapentin works by calming nerve signals in the brain and spinal cord, which helps reduce pain but also suppresses the neural pathways that control alertness. When those pathways quiet down, mental energy drops and concentration fades. Many users describe feeling as though their minds are wrapped in cotton. Some fall asleep mid-conversation, while others lose track of tasks they've done for years. For seniors, this exhaustion can become serious. Imagine feeling suddenly drowsy while driving to the store or preparing a meal at home. A brief lapse in awareness can cause a fall, a burn, or an accident that changes life in an instant. Studies from the American Academy of Family Physicians warn that combining gabapentin with other sedatives, alcohol, or antihistamines can intensify this effect dramatically. To manage it safely, doctors often suggest taking gabapentin in the evening, staying hydrated, and following a steady sleep routine to help the body adapt. Avoid caffeine late in the day and speak with your healthcare provider if the fatigue feels overwhelming. A small dosage change or new timing can restore alertness and reduce fog. Protecting your daily energy means understanding how your body reacts and acting before fatigue controls your life. But knowing this alone is still not enough, because the next side effect of gabapentin quietly strikes your physical coordination and balance in a way that many never see coming. Number 3, ataxia and loss of coordination. After persistent fatigue sets in, many people begin to notice something even more unsettling. Their movements no longer feel as steady or precise. A simple task like walking across the room can suddenly feel uncertain. You reach for a glass of water and your hand trembles slightly. You step off a curb and your balance feels just a little off. For countless Americans taking gabapentin, this gradual loss of coordination, known medically as ataxia, becomes one of the most frightening changes because it often appears without warning. According to studies published by the FDA and leading neurology journals, about 14% of users report some form of gait instability or poor coordination, particularly when doses are increased too quickly. Gabapentin affects the brain's cerebellum, the region responsible for smooth motion and balance. By slowing down nerve signals, it can confuse the body's natural rhythm. This may cause walking to feel wide, uneven, or swaying. Older adults face the greatest danger, as even a mild imbalance can result in serious falls or fractures. Some describe it as if their legs and mind are out of sync, unable to agree on what direction to go. Medical reports show that these symptoms can improve once the dosage is reduced or the medication is stopped, but the recovery can take time. Doctors suggest practical steps to stay safe, such as moving carefully when standing up, wearing supportive non-slip shoes, and keeping living spaces clutter-free. Light balance exercises or short daily walks can also retrain stability and prevent stiffness. The earlier you notice these signs, the easier they are to correct before they escalate. Awareness is your best protection against the risks that come quietly. But knowing this alone is still not enough, because the next effect of gabapentin reveals itself through the body's swelling response that can change how you feel and look entirely. Number 4, peripheral edema and swelling. After coordination problems begin to surface, another unexpected reaction may quietly appear: the slow but noticeable swelling of the hands, feet, or ankles. Many Americans taking gabapentin describe waking up to find their shoes feeling tighter, or their rings leaving marks that were never there before. At first, it might seem harmless or just a sign of heat or salt intake, but in reality, this is one of the drug's most visible and persistent side effects, known medically as peripheral edema. Clinical data from the American Journal of Geriatric Pharmacotherapy shows that this swelling affects up to 8% of patients, with the risk rising sharply at doses above 1,800 milligrams per day. Gabapentin changes how the body regulates fluid balance, altering small blood vessels and allowing extra fluid to leak into surrounding tissues. The result is puffiness that worsens through the day, often accompanied by stiffness or discomfort. While mild swelling might seem manageable, it can become dangerous for individuals with heart failure, kidney problems, or circulation issues. The body is signaling that pressure is building where it should not, and ignoring it can lead to shortness of breath or severe leg pain. Some patients report that this swelling makes walking difficult, forcing them to rest frequently and limiting daily activities they once enjoyed. Doctors recommend elevating the legs above heart level, wearing compression socks, and reducing sodium intake to ease fluid buildup. Staying active with gentle movement also helps the lymphatic system drain excess water naturally. If the swelling persists, medical experts may lower the dose or switch to an alternative medication. Paying attention to these early signs can prevent serious complications and keep mobility strong. Recognizing changes in your body is not just awareness, it is protection. But only knowing this effect is still not enough because the next hidden reaction from gabapentin begins to change something even more personal, the shape of your body itself. Number 5, weight gain and metabolic changes. After swelling becomes noticeable, another hidden transformation often follows quietly, a gradual but persistent increase in body weight that can surprise even careful eaters. Many Americans taking gabapentin report that their clothes fit tighter and their energy levels feel lower even when their diet has not changed. This is not simply about a few extra pounds. It is a reflection of how the medication alters metabolism and appetite. Studies from the Journal of Therapeutic Drug Monitoring reveal that over half of long-term users gain more than 5% of their original body weight within a year of treatment. The cause is not just extra calories, but a biological shift in how the body stores fat and processes energy. Gabapentin interacts with brain regions that regulate hunger and reward increasing appetite signals and slowing energy output. Combined with fatigue and reduced activity, this creates a perfect storm for weight gain. Some patients describe an uncontrollable craving for snacks, especially in the evening, while others notice their body composition changing even with normal meals. The problem grows slowly pound by pound until it begins to affect confidence, blood sugar, and joint health. For seniors already managing conditions like diabetes or arthritis, this added weight can worsen inflammation and limit mobility. Doctors recommend tracking daily weight, maintaining a balanced high-protein and low-sugar diet, and engaging in light physical activity, such as walking or swimming, to counteract this effect. Eating smaller, more frequent meals and staying hydrated can also stabilize appetite signals. If weight gain continues, discussing dose adjustments or alternative medications with your healthcare provider may help. Awareness allows you to take control before these small changes become permanent. Your body deserves balance and vitality, not fatigue and frustration. But only knowing this side effect is still not enough, because the next change gabapentin triggers does not just affect how you look, it begins to distort what you see. Number 6, visual disturbances and nystagmus. After unwanted weight changes begin to take shape, a far more unsettling effect may start to interfere with your daily life when the world around you suddenly seems to move or blur, even when you are standing still. Many Americans taking gabapentin report that their vision becomes unstable. Letters on a page seem to jump, or lights appear doubled. This strange phenomenon known as nystagmus is a rhythmic and uncontrollable movement of the eyes that can make focusing almost impossible. According to data from the U.S. Gabapentin Study Group and later FDA reviews, nearly 1 in 5 users experience some degree of visual disturbance, especially at higher doses or after months of continuous use. Gabapentin affects the brain areas that coordinate eye movement and visual tracking, including the cerebellum and neural pathways that link the eyes to balance control. When those signals are disrupted, the eyes struggle to stabilize on a single point, producing blurriness, double vision, or spinning sensations. This side effect can appear without warning and is often mistaken for simple eye strain or aging, but its impact is far more serious. Imagine trying to drive, read, or even walk when your surroundings appear to shift unpredictably. It can lead to confusion, anxiety, and an increased risk of falls or accidents. Doctors recommend avoiding driving or operating machinery until your vision feels stable, especially when starting gabapentin or adjusting doses. Scheduling regular eye exams helps track changes early. Simple adjustments like improving lighting, resting the eyes more often, and maintaining proper hydration can also reduce strain. In some cases, lowering the dose can restore normal vision within days. If symptoms persist, always consult your healthcare provider immediately. Protecting your eyesight means protecting your safety and independence. But knowing this alone is still not enough, because the next side effect of gabapentin affects not what you see, but how steadily your body moves and responds. Number 7, tremor and uncontrolled shaking. After vision becomes unstable, another effect can quietly surface, one that affects how confidently you use your own hands. Many Americans taking gabapentin begin to notice a subtle trembling that grows more noticeable with time. It may start as a slight shake when holding a cup of coffee or writing a note, but soon the movements become harder to control. This condition, known as tremor, is one of the most reported neurological side effects of gabapentin. Clinical trials reviewed by the FDA and studies in the Journal of Neurological Sciences show that up to 15% of users experience some degree of tremor, often described as a rhythmic involuntary motion that intensifies during daily activities. Gabapentin alters the way nerve signals travel through the brain and muscles, affecting the coordination that keeps your hands steady. When communication between neurons slows, small muscle groups lose their fine control, creating repetitive or shaky movements. For older adults, this can be particularly frustrating and even embarrassing. Imagine trying to button a shirt, prepare food, or sign your name only to see your hands moving uncontrollably. Some patients mistake it for aging or anxiety, unaware that the medication might be the true cause. Tremor may also worsen when combined with caffeine, stress, or certain antidepressants. Doctors often suggest limiting caffeine intake, maintaining a consistent medication schedule, and performing light hand and wrist exercises to strengthen control. In some cases, adjusting the dosage or switching medications may stop the tremor entirely. A balanced diet rich in magnesium and hydration also supports nerve and muscle health. The key is to act early rather than hoping it will fade on its own. Restoring stability in your hands restores confidence in your life. But just knowing this is not enough, because the next side effect of gabapentin targets an area that affects almost everyone, and it can turn even an ordinary day into a battle with pain and pressure inside your head. Number 8, headache and pressure sensations. After tremors begin to interfere with daily comfort, another problem may quietly emerge, one that many people never connect to their medication. It starts as a mild ache behind the eyes or a dull throb in the temples, but over time it grows into a constant pressure that refuses to fade. For countless Americans, taking gabapentin, this recurring headache becomes a daily struggle that drains focus and patience. Clinical research from the FDA and medical centers, such as the Cleveland Clinic, confirms that headaches are among the most frequently reported side effects of gabapentin. While some describe a tight squeezing pain, similar to a tension headache, others report sharp pulsations that feel like migraine waves. Gabapentin changes how blood vessels and neurotransmitters in the brain behave, which can alter normal blood flow and trigger pain pathways. As the drug calms overactive nerve signals, it may unintentionally disturb the natural rhythm of circulation around the skull. For seniors, dehydration, poor posture, and medication interactions can worsen these headaches. Some users notice that the pain strikes after each dose, while others feel it early in the morning or during stressful moments. A few even wake up at night with that same persistent throb that seems impossible to escape. Ignoring it can lead to fatigue, mood swings, and loss of sleep, creating a cycle that keeps the discomfort alive. Doctors often recommend taking gabapentin with food, staying well hydrated throughout the day, and practicing gentle neck stretches to relieve tension. Applying a cool compress to the forehead or increasing magnesium intake through diet may also help reduce frequency. If headaches persist, your provider may adjust the timing or dosage to restore balance. Paying attention to these early pain signals can save you from long-term discomfort and restore mental clarity. But only knowing this still isn't enough, because the next reaction to gabapentin targets your digestive system, and its effects can quietly disrupt the way your body absorbs and processes nutrients every day. Number 9, nausea and digestive discomfort. After headaches begin to interfere with your focus, another reaction can strike from within, affecting one of the most sensitive systems in the body, your digestion. Many Americans taking gabapentin notice that meals no longer feel the same. What once brought comfort now leads to a wave of queasiness, a twisting sensation in the stomach, or even sudden nausea that arrives without warning. This is not simply an upset stomach from food. It is a gastrointestinal response caused by the way gabapentin interacts with the gut and the brain. Clinical data reviewed by the FDA and publications from the National Institutes of Health show that nausea and digestive discomfort affect a significant number of users, especially when starting treatment or increasing doses. Gabapentin influences the gut-brain axis, the communication network that connects your nervous system to your digestive organs. As it calms nerve activity in the brain, it can slow stomach contractions and alter enzyme release, leading to bloating, nausea, or loss of appetite. Some patients describe a sour taste in the mouth or a burning sensation that rises after eating. Others experience unpredictable waves of nausea that make it difficult to maintain nutrition or hydration. Over time, this can lead to fatigue, weight changes, and lower immunity if the body's not properly nourished. Doctors often advise taking gabapentin with food, dividing the daily dose into smaller portions, and staying well hydrated throughout the day. Eating simple, gentle foods like oatmeal, bananas, and rice can calm the stomach. Avoiding spicy or greasy meals can also make a noticeable difference. For some, probiotics or ginger tea help restore balance to the gut. The key is to listen to your body and report persistent symptoms early before they interfere with recovery. Protecting your digestion protects your overall health and strength. But only knowing this still is not enough because the final effect of gabapentin reaches far beyond comfort or appearance. It can slow something essential, your very breath. Number 10, respiratory depression and breathing difficulties. After digestive issues begin to surface, the most serious and potentially life-threatening reaction may follow when the body starts to struggle for air. Some Americans taking gabapentin describe waking in the middle of the night, gasping or noticing that their breathing feels slower and heavier than usual. This is not simple shortness of breath from exertion. It is a dangerous condition known as respiratory depression in which the brain's signals that control breathing become suppressed. According to an official FDA safety communication, gabapentin can slow respiration, especially in older adults, or those taking it together with opioids, anxiety medications, or sleep aids. This side effect may appear silently, progressing from mild drowsiness to serious oxygen deprivation. Gabapentin acts on the central nervous system, calming overactive nerve activity to reduce pain, but it can also quiet the same regions of the brain that regulate breathing rhythm. When those automatic signals weaken, breathing becomes shallow and irregular. Research from the FDA Adverse Event Reporting System found that in several documented cases, this complication became fatal when left unnoticed. For individuals with COPD, asthma, or sleep apnea, the danger multiplies as their respiratory systems are already under stress. Some patients have described waking up feeling disoriented lips, slightly bluish or dizzy after mild exertion, unaware that their oxygen levels were dropping. Doctors strongly advise avoiding alcohol and sedatives and never combining gabapentin with opioids or benzodiazepines without medical supervision. Using a pulse oximeter at home can help track oxygen levels, and any new breathing changes should be reported immediately. In some cases, switching to a lower dose or alternative therapy can restore safe respiration. Breathing is the body's foundation of life, and protecting it must always come first. Understanding this final risk empowers you to use every medication wisely and safely. But only knowing this still is not enough because the real power lies in staying informed, asking questions, and taking control of your health before problems begin. As we reach the end of today's video, remember this: knowledge is power, especially when it comes to your health. You have just learned about the 10 most important side effects of gabapentin that doctors and patients need to recognize early. From dizziness and fatigue to swelling vision, changes, and breathing issues, each one tells a story your body is trying to share. The good news is that awareness gives you control. By observing your body, closely communicating with your healthcare provider, and never ignoring unusual symptoms, you can prevent small problems from turning into serious ones. Your health is not just about taking medication, it is about balance, awareness, and daily choices. Ask questions at every appointment. Keep a simple health journal to track how you feel each day. Stay hydrated, stay active, and never combine medications without your doctor's advice. Remember, these steps are not just precautions, they are your pathway to confidence and independence. No matter your age or condition, there is always a safer way forward, and you have the power to take that step today. If this video helped you understand gabapentin better, please save it for future reference and share it with friends or loved ones who might also be taking this medication. You never know whose life could be changed by a simple act of awareness. And if you want to continue learning about the safest foods, natural habits, and proven strategies to protect your body as you age, subscribe to this channel right now. Turn on notifications so you never miss our next video. In the upcoming episode, we will reveal everyday foods that can naturally strengthen your nerves and help reduce pain safely. Stay informed, stay curious, and take care of yourself every single day. Your health journey matters, and together we will keep it strong and vibrant for years to come.